Hey, so this is we're gonna be using. I'm gonna show you how to use useReducer. All right. So useReducer is kind of it's the similar to useState. The only difference is it's kind of like a gigantic object where you can conditionally update state. Right. A very important reminder that the reducer must always return state. Okay, I'm just making notes for myself. The reducer must always return state. All right. Okay, so this is you need to use context and reducer at the same time, right? This is kind of the way I was taught to do it, and that's the way kind of it logically makes sense to me. So the first thing we do is we import useReducer from React. All right. The next thing we do is we set up our state function. So this is similar to use state, only it's a little bit more complicated. I don't honestly know exactly how it works. I just know how to use it. All right. So state is obviously the state, and then dispatch is going to be like set state. Do you know, like if we have state, if we're using use state, we're going to have state and then set state equals to use state, whatever, right? So this is exactly the same, only we have state and dispatch replaces set state because that's what's going to be happening. All right. So once we've done that, we need to set up default state, which is this thing here. So we can just copy and paste. All right. So this is our default state, and we can put anything in here. Let's say, I don't know, just put text, and I'm gonna write one. Okay. No, starting state. All right. We're gonna do this. All right. Okay. So once this is done, we want to pass the state through the use global, right? So the way to do that is with three dots. That's the correct way to do it. Okay. So now state is available globally. All right. So example, if we go here, we can just type in state. On click, we're gonna console log state. All right. Like this, console log state. All right. So it's in theory, if we click the button, oh shit, we need to set up reducer as well. Yeah. So we need to create. So the thing is complaining. React is complaining and saying where is the reducer? All right. So reducer is here, but we need to set it up. Now you can do reducer either in here, like so. All right. Or you can do it as a separate function, but let's just do it in here. So, okay, doc, so I'm back. So I figured it out, right? Um, there is a difference between passing state like this with three dots and without three dots, all right? So if you pass state like this, right, in here, you can only receive state, all right? So you see state is going to become sort of like an object. So you see you have the object. And now if you want to get the text out, you have to put state dot text. All right. You can do it either this way or you can do like this: const text equals state. You can do it this way as well. All right. So this will work then. I see. So this works now. So you have to kind of double the structure. So to avoid this, we can just do dot 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 state, okay? And now we can directly in here destructure. So we're trying to get text out of the state, right? Because the object state is being directly passed into this use global. So now you see, now it works. I have to reload. You see, now it works. So that's the difference. That's fundamentally the difference between passing state like this and like this. If you just pass state like this, which is the standard way of doing it, you gonna have to destructure the state like this. Const state, oh whoops, text equals state, right? You can do it this way, or once again, you can just do state.text, but it's too much typing. You know, you're better off doing it this way, right? Or just doing the dot 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 state, dot dot dot, whatever, dot 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 state, okay? Okay. So the next thing is we want to, okay. So I'm gonna move reducer to a separate file. So we're gonna move it in here, okay? And then we're gonna import reducer from like this. So now we have the reducer. Okay. So next thing we want to, let's say, create a, so how do we update the state? We do it by creating functions. We create a function, we call this update state one, all right? Then we call the dispatch function, or dispatch method, whatever, from here, okay? And this has to always have type and capital letters. We call it update state one. This is the normal kind of convention how to write this updates type, okay? So now we need to copy this, go into reducer and set up a condition. Remember, reducer always has to return a state, all right? So we set up a condition. Yeah, if, okay, action dot type equals to this thing here, all right? So when dispatch arrives, it arrives as an object into here, all right? And then you need to extract it, which is action type. So if action type is equal to this thing here, we want to return, and here you always do this dot 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 state. So you have to copy the state first, and then you have to update it, okay? So we type, what is our state? Text. Okay, so we change text updated state. So when we're gonna call this function, it will dispatch a request to reducer to update state and change it from starting state to updated state. So now we just need to put it into a button so we can click on it, right? So let's just put it, let's just put it in here. And then on click, we're just gonna use this. Let's just use this update. That's it. Okay, now let's see if it's going to work. So first we need to monitor our state. We use a add-on called React. It's a Chrome add-on, so we can see our component, right? So this is our starting state, right? We can see starting state, okay? So when we click a button, it should change to updated state. Reducer is not a function. I'm pretty sure it should work. Okay, there is a problem somewhere. Oh, because there's no export. That's why. That's why there's a problem. So you see it changes to updated state. All right. And now it changes to updated state. So this is just a way to conditionally update the state. All right. Now also important thing to note is that you don't need to pass this default state every time you dispatch, right? Because the useReducer automatically gives you access to this state here because it's in here default state. It's automatic, right? Because I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, where, like, how does reducer know what state is? And that's because useReducer automatically passes it, right? Now, and the second thing to remember, you have to always, always, always copy the state first and return it, okay? You should never do this. Do not do this, okay? This is very, very bad. Always copy it and then update, all right? And that's pretty much it, right? And there is also another thing where you can dispatch type with a payload, all right? So payload will be, let's call this boom. And to access this payload, you can just do console log action.payload, all right? So basically this dispatch will arrive here as an action, and then you can just access it. So action.type, action.payload, right? Action.type, action.payload, and that's it. So you see, if we click now the button, it's going to console log boom. Yeah, you see, so now it's console logging boom. You see? Because now we're dispatching type, which is a request. Normally it's a request, right, to do something. Now the system scans, reducer scans and says, okay, if action type is update state, which is update state here, okay, we can console log action payload. So payload came from here, and then and every time you return, it will update the state. And that's it. That's how it works. All right, take care.